Our top story this hour, the Heart of Asia conference is underway in Tajikistan. The summit brings together Afghanistan's neighbours and other regional powers. Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said at the conference that India remained committed to the development of Afghanistan in order to make the country self-sufficient. Also said that India will continue to work towards improving Afghanistan's connectivity. Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Pakistan Foreign Minister were also seen on the same platform for the first time since 2019 during their photo op session. Meanwhile, Tajikistan President said that the last 4 decades had shown that there is no military solution to Afghanistan.
What's besides?
Now, the Heart of Asia talks comes after Russia held a conference in Moscow to intensify negotiations between Afghan government, the Taliban and the United States in Qatar. The United States is supposed to complete a withdrawal of all its troops from Afghanistan by May 1st as part of a deal with Taliban, a deadline that US President Joe Biden has said would be tough to meet. Now, the Kremlin, which pulled Soviet troops from Afghanistan in 1989 after a bruising occupation, last week threw its weight behind Washington's initiative for an interim government that included the Taliban. And for more on this, we are now being joined by political analyst from Russia, Dmitry Babich. Thank you so much for joining us. The Heart of Asia talks, as we mentioned, come after Russia held a conference in Moscow to intensify negotiations between the Afghan government and the Taliban, and of course the United States and Qatar. Could you tell us about the significance of this?
It's a very important event, and I hope that the dynamic which was started, which was given by the meeting in Moscow, by the conference in Moscow, will continue to have a positive impact on this conference in Dushanbe. Basically, the aim is the same for the United States, for Russia, for other countries which want Afghanistan to get stabilized. An inclusive government, a government that would really represent the whole country for the first time maybe since the so-called April Revolution in 1973, when Afghanistan first got destabilized. I hope that the current very bad state of relations between Russia and the United States will not hamper this. We've heard accusations from the United States that Russia is somehow encouraging Taliban to kill American soldiers. This is obviously not true because Russia helped the United States to come to Afghanistan in 2001. Please look at the newspapers, American newspapers, European newspapers in the end of 2001. You will know that Russia, by supporting the so-called Northern Alliance in Afghanistan, helped the United States to defeat Taliban and to drive them out of Kabul.
All right, sir. On that note, the Kremlin supported Washington's initiative for an interim government that included Taliban. What can you tell us about that?
Well, of course, the attitude to Taliban in Russia is very negative. We had problems with this organization. It's declared an illegal terrorist organization in Russia. It used to, attack the borders of Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, our neighbors and former Soviet republics. But it's obvious that Taliban has some influence inside Afghanistan. It has influence among the push to ethnic group, which is one of the main groups in Afghanistan. So it would be unwise to kind of ignore Taliban and not to include it in the future government. If that is required for stability, so let it be.
All right, sir. And how do you assess that this will aid and advance the peace process?
Well, I hope that the process goes ahead very quickly because uncertainty is the worst. The former Soviet republics in Central Asia, they have less fear of Afghanistan than certain so-called experts on Afghanistan from Western countries. Why? Because I think being close to the scene, our partners, our allies in Tajikistan, in Uzbekistan, they see the opportunities. They see that Afghanistan is already tired of war. Everyone, I think, in Afghanistan, the huge majority of the population want peace at last.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Dmitry Babich, thank you so much for joining us with all those inputs.